We're back again, at least I am. I've done a series of videos on YouTube in regards to the presidency of President Obama. I started October 24th, 2008, before the election, and there are several astrological indications about the future of the Obama presidency. Primarily the intimation that President Obama will serve an incomplete term, that he would not complete his term in office. And there are a number of reasons astrologically why that will be the case. Other predictions were made also during that time over the last year and a half. I was particularly surprised at the response that I received in regards to my videos on President Obama. A lot of negativity, a lot of people who were against the president. I guess there are a lot of people who want him assassinated, who hate his guts, who want him to fail. And a lot of people come to this with their own agendas in regards to how they see the president and what they want to happen to him. So I try to be as honest and as forthright as I can about his presidency. I said, for example, that he would give a great speech at his inauguration. He'd be a very good speaker, that he is in some ways a figurehead for the Democratic Party, image for the Democratic Party, the new Democratic Party, old wine in a new bottle. But this is not to take away from the gentleman as a human being. There were a lot of things that have gone on in the last year. We talked about secret enemies, the president having to step up to make up for errors by his staff and people in his administration. I continue to believe that the presidency will be incomplete in regards to, incomplete term for the president, and that eventually he will, go somewhere quiet. This time I'm focusing particularly on the President Obama for this year, 2010, from January to August 1st. It's difficult. I try not to talk about people personally, the personal lives of the individual, and just make general predictions about the presidency. For example, in another video indicated possible war or violence, increased violence in Pakistan, which is what we have, basically a war. Drones attacking, killing innocent people. But we indicated, for example, a change in leadership in Pakistan possible for last year. I apologize, there was not a complete change in presidency, in leadership rather, but one of the leaders of Pakistan, Zardari, gave up control of the nuclear arsenal of Pakistan's, so that Sharif will be in control because Zardari may be removed from office or his position questioned by the Pakistan Supreme Court. Getting back to President Obama, the period from April 1st to August 1st may be the most difficult of the Obama presidency. He has a major aspect, Neptune squaring his midheaven. There are other things in his chart which I won't go much into detail, but basically there's an indication that during this period of time the president will experience difficulties with his staff, with the people around him. There'll be issues dealing with lack of trust in the people around him. He'll probably feel some sadness in regards to their competency, their ability to get things going. And he's going to have trouble getting things done if his health care plan doesn't pass before April 1st, or whatever major legislation he has that he wants to get through. If it's not done by April 1st, probably will be delayed until the end of this year, if it even gets done at all. A lot of things going on underground or subterranean type of things in the White House during this period of time. The president's enemies, secret enemies and not so secret enemies, will increasingly attack him. there'll be issues dealing with the lack of trust in the president, not just from the people around him, or his enemies, but perhaps the public in general. There may be some questions about his competency, his ability to get things done. And so this will probably be a very emotional time for the president during this year. There might be an issue in his administration dealing with embezzlement or misuse of funds, maybe June or July. There may be things that come out. Neptune is a funny planet. In an individual's chart, Neptune tends to hide things or delay them or suppress them. I had done a chart, for example, with an individual who was opening a restaurant once, and he had Neptune prominent in his chart, and I suggested that he not open his restaurant at that particular time, that there would be delays. There might be delays in getting it done. There might be theft associated with his project. It didn't work out. The restaurant was open less than a year. So Neptune sometimes it prevents things from happening the way that you want. So things that the president would like to get done this year probably won't. And if they do, they'll be under a mask of secrecy. Again, this starts around April 1st. Very difficult time for the president, I think. I think it'll be very emotional. You'll see a lot more feelings coming out with the president. A lot more people question his credibility and his agenda. The president will probably have a very difficult time, in particular, I'm afraid, this June and July. Particularly July 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. There's an eclipse around that time, though the eclipse itself doesn't mean that something bad will happen for the president. But I think it'll be a time of sadness in Washington. There will be things going on with the presidency at that time, and probably with the vice presidency. So it's a time that would be probably the most difficult for the president during his administration. And I wish him luck. And we'll see what happens. He has a lot of enemies. A lot of people are after him. I don't see myself how one individual can stand up to so much pressure, so much subterfuge, so many attacks on so many different fronts by so many people. And I'm wondering how many people are actually supporting him instead of taking from him. I think there are a lot more people grabbing and taking from him than we suspect. So he will be under attack from April till September, from his enemies, from those in his administration who don't readily support him. And we will see. I'll get back to you before the end of July and talk about this some more. Thank you.